Taurus, welcome to your next 3 months overview. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. We're going to take a deeper look at July, August, September. Let's go over the board. This is not your reading. This is a board designation for all 12 zodiac signs as it relates to future orientation energy and then also focal point energies. Let me explain. So, July 7, the Chariot, Cancer season. Makes sense? All right. August 8, the Strength card, Leo season. 9, September, the Hermit, Virgo season. You with me? Yeah. Yes, I get questions about the board. There you go. Now we know. Yeah. We're also going to take a look at your sun, what you understand makes you happy. Are we achieving that? Does that need adjustment? Is that on track? Right? The sun. That which we understand makes us happy. The Tower. Anything that is unexpected or untowards that we should be made aware of over the next several months. And Judgment. Imperative decisions, lessons, things that are coming towards you, decisions you need to make, that kind of thing. Yes, speaking of the Hermit, I actually sat down and switched up the reading orders today. For some reason, I felt compelled to read Virgos first. The Taurus Hierophant energy came up several times throughout the reading, so if you have some prominent Virgo in your chart, check those out. There might be something in there for you. Okay, let's get cracking. We're going to start by pulling you an oracle. Show me that Taurian energy for the next 3 months. What is the focus? What is the focus? What is the focus, please? Show me that Taurian energy. What is the focus, please? What is the focus, please, for Taurus? What is the focus, please, for Taurus over the next several months? Oh, yes. Very good. All right. Your 11th house, your community, your extension, your 10 of Pentacles. Can't say I'm surprised at all. That community energy, that foundation. Oh, yes. Oh, we busy. Oh, but it's a good busy, though, honey. It's all about your foundation right now, your connectivity, your resources. That's very intertwined. Some of you might have some very prominent Aries in your chart. Card of Aries, act. It is time for acting, and so you're cultivating, creating your particular web where everything kind of touches everything else. Again, that 10 of Pentacles, that's that tree of life, the roots that touch many, many things. It's highly extensive. You provide shade for many people. So we're talking about family, friends, community, work, all of it bundled up into a nice, neat package. We are currently taking action towards it. We are expanding our horizon, our resources, our networks, our connectivity. And for some of you, your energy started to pick up probably dramatically in this area, possibly last April, but it's been continuing in flow ever since. It looks like it's a good flow. That doesn't mean you're not busy. That doesn't mean that you don't have burdens, but it's like, I got it, right? Keeping those connections tight, formulated, the hands touching other hands, connection. Okay, beautiful. Resource gathering, it is that time for you. Very beautiful. You're very much heavily involved in your 11th house at this time. Okay, very good. Let's get cracking. Show me July, please. Show me July for Taurus. Show me July, please, for Taurus. Show me July, please, for Taurus. I'm in my summer energy. I hope you are too. Show me that July energy, please, for Taurus. Knights of Pentacles. There you are. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's like, I'm wrapping that up. Yeah, again, if you have Virgo in your chart, check theirs out. They also pulled the 7 of Pentacles. You are definitely showing me a distinct, I'm wrapping this shit up. In July, it's like, I'm done with this. It's coming down. So you have energy deflation for sure. At first, I was like, but I can't say I'm entirely surprised. You've actually been anticipating in July to wind something down. It's been a slow trajectory. So again, I'm seeing that thing where I'm assuming June, and like I said, possibly backwards to April, May, June, there might have been a heightened sense of energy, and now it's starting to come down. You are still in action mode. It's still in present. It's still engaged, but it's not nearly as strenuous as possibly as it was, and your energy is deflating towards this. It's like, thank you. You're like, I'm done with this. I checked out. I did what I needed to do. You were already moving in this particular direction. So some of you are like, that's it. That's a wrap. slowly exiting out of this. You've emotionally checked out, you're tapped out, you're tired, and it has its own particular growth at this time. You don't need to put so much of yourself into it. You're backing away from whatever this is emotionally. It has its own particular pace and growth, and it's looking work oriented. Whatever this is has its own particular growth and pace at this time. It doesn't need like it needs as much of your energy as it did. Okay, so again, it's that sense of deflation. You're like, finally, I can walk away from this shit. Oh, you kind of want it to go back on automatic pilot, and it looks like it will be. What else, please, in July? Some of you might be leaving some sort of workplace environment. I don't see that. I see it as you just kind of emotionally detaching from something that looks like it's going at its own pace now. There you go. It's a steady pace. It's an even pace. You seem to expect it. You seem to know about it. It's not a surprise to you at all. So that doesn't mean you're not any less engaged. That doesn't mean you're working any less. It's just kind of like, okay, I don't have to put as much of myself into this now, at least on the emotional level. Emotionally, you're tapped out from this. So like, I gave it everything I got. Anything else, please, in July for Taurus? Show me. Anything else, please, in July for Taurus? Ooh. Honey? It's a bit intense. That's a bit... Yes, I did. I'll be ducked. There it is. I did. I was ready to say, why does that sound so familiar for Taurus? Because the tits. I recall that distinctly from your last 3-month overview where I'm like, Taurus, honey, are you getting a third thing? It was something like that. I saw a Taurus who distinctly had 2 preoccupations in the work arena, and then there you were casually contemplating a third thing. And I'm seeing that again. You are still involved in something that you're just like, okay, I can back away from this now. I don't have to give as much of it, of my time, energy, and effort. It's at its own particular pace. Great. Let's turn our attention over to that and let's obsess about it hardcore. So I don't know what's going on for you. You just deflated some energy in the work arena. And now you just kicked into high gear and got really intense about something else. Wait. You might, first of all, you might have some Capricorn in your chart. Some very strong Capricorn, in which case I can't say I'm surprised I'm seeing that level of intensity regarding the coin and the structure of it, the intensity of it, the flow of it. But some of you is right down obsessed with a new opportunity, or you want to nail something. Like you want to get it just right. Precision is required. We are being very detail oriented here. It's got your full preoccupation. It's holy shit. The Devil, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Christina, that's just a normal work day for me. Oh no, Taurus working. That's some mind-blowing shit. No one's ever heard of that. But that's a little... sarcasm. That's a little intense. That's just a little intense, honey. So I understand that thing about, okay, now I have more room, because you do. Emotionally, you have more room now that you've detached from something else that's going at its own speed. Cool. You kind of set that aside. And then you immediately turn around and then you start almost borderline fixating on something. Now, it could be a brand new opportunity in work, and in which case you're like, I gotta shine. Everything has to be on point. Take notes, bitch. It's kind of like that. There is competition in here. There's a heavy sense of I need to demonstrate here. There's a heavy sense of I have to prove myself. There's a heavy sense of I gotta outshine or just exceed expectations. And that's what I feel like you're shooting for, is to exceed expectations, because you went from something that was just like, okay, that's done, and now it's turned around and I mean, your energy just got really sharp, from relaxed to sharp. So this was anticipatory, I believe, on your part. How long this will take to play out, I don't know, but it seems to be critical through your eyes and through your energy that it has to be just right. There's something here for which you seem to be terribly anxious to prove yourself, either A, and to get a position that you want, or to prove yourself in a new position. And for some reason, you're hitting critical energy in July around this construct. I don't know why. But you're like, devil is in the details, Christina. It's in the fucking details. I gotta get everything just right and just so. You are so anxious to prove yourself. Just be careful with that. You know, I respect this. I do. That Ten of Pentacles energy, I know. Perhaps you are forging new connections and it feels tentative, not as secure. You want to get in there, throw your weight around, say what's up. This is what you can expect from me. Okay, and there's that act. You want to get things just right, huh? This is very important to you. Very important to you. It's like you were eating and breathing this, whatever this is. Okay. You do your thing, honey. You do your thing. Trust your instincts. This is what you do. This is what you're good at. I just don't want you to get yourself so worked up that... Well, I don't know. I don't know what the end result of that is. That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, it has to be perfect, Christina. That's the end result. I mean, it's a little intense, you know. But if that's where you are, then that's where you are. I hope that you get the results that you want with that kind of work effort and work level or contribution and dedication. Yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a good result. I just, the tension surrounding that is hardcore. Wow. But you're like, I'm doing it. That's what I do. Okay. That's what you... I'm not going to argue with that shit. I'm not going to... You argue with that Taurus. I'm not going to do it. Fuck no. I don't think this Taurus is going to give you the time of day to argue about it. I don't think they have the time. Oh my. Good luck to your endeavor, though. You do want positive results, and that's where that intensity is coming from. Is because you want the best possible results. Like I said, I do feel like you have either an enormous amount of pressure in a new thing that you are working through, and you just want to show the best of yourself and your skills and your experience. That's what it feels like to me. And it's just coming across as intense. But there you go. It's something you got to do. Then it's something you got to do, baby. You know? Sometimes it's just life like that. Life is like that. August. Show me August, please, for Taurus. Show me. Taurus is working obsessively. What? There you are. Show me August, please. Show me August, please, for Taurus. Show me August, please, for Taurus, although I can't knock you for that. I discovered Capricorn's my midheaven. It's the only Earth I have in my chart in any way, anywhere, anyhow, and that would explain my own level of intensity towards work. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I know what that feeling's like. I do. I can't pretend that I don't, because when you're in it, it doesn't feel like that, right? It just feels like I got to do it, I got to do it, I got to be the best, I got to give the best, right? From the outside looking in, people are like, doing a bit much? But when you're in it, it doesn't seem like that, does it? All right, we got some Two of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Four of Cups. Oh, honey, no, I don't want to see that. Oh, I got some love energy here. Now we're getting on the personal side. Yeah, well, you can't be all work, huh? But that's not exactly play either. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm sorry. Two of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Four of Cups. On the personal side, outside of the work context, there is some emotional disharmony around you with a cup that you are familiar with. So the Two of Cups is like, you and I, two cups meet. This is between us. This is the emotions between you and I. Okay, it's familiarity. And there's some blockage here. Nine of Wands with the Four of Cups. Somebody here is grossly dissatisfied. The love that one should be expressed, right, received and given, it's not happening. There's frustration in here with the Nine of Wands. Nothing seems to be changing on the emotional front with this person, whomever it is you share that Two of Cups with. And we're feeling this distinctly in August, and I don't know why. There is some dissatisfaction here. It feels like your love energy is not being received well, and you're not able to express it well. It's emotional dissatisfaction, upset, a lot of disappointment, and a lot of this isn't changing. I don't know how to make it change. I don't know what to do with this. There's supposed to be love here, but I'm not feeling it. I don't think they are either. And it feels like every time you turn around with this person, it's perpetually blocked, dissatisfying, disgruntled, frustrated, at odds with each other. So Nine of Wands is repetition. it's the same, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and we are continuously disappointed by the lack of results changing with the Four of Cups. And Four of Cups can be kind of critical disappointment. It's kind of like, it's an emotional jerk circle, as I say. In other words, it just goes around like this. It's just emotional fuckery that never resolves, right? It can get worse, but unless somebody is willing to break the pattern, soften that up, address it, it stays pretty much the same, and we don't want it to. You have a precedence of love with this person, the Two of Cups. It should be an equal exchange. And somebody here with that Nine of Wands, bare minimum one person of the two, is not expressing themselves openly, easily, and they're not receiving the love that they need or desire. So their emotional needs are not being met, and that increases the frustration. It could be lack of emotional support. It could be that someone's emotionally checked out and leaving the other person hanging. It feels like we don't have any quality time with this person. There's no quality conversations. There's no quality expressions of love between the two. And it's looking fairly active because it's currently in future-oriented, frustrated. I don't quite know where that's coming from. Hopefully we can find resolution here with our person. But for some reason, somebody's emotionally standoffish, and your reaction is the fuck? You know, you're not happy. I mean, that's the Four of Cups is. It's like, I got something here, but it's not satisfying. It's not what I want. It's not what I'm receiving to feel good about me or about us. And there is blockage here on somebody's side. Okay? There's a individual energy between an equal division. So somebody here remains standoffish in their feelings and guarded and a little edgy, a little tight, a little pissy, you know? I don't know what's going on there, honey. There's some sort of grudge match happening between you and somebody. What else please about August? What else please about August? Let's see if we can turn that frown upside down. The Fool, the Seven of Swords, the Chariot. Oh my. Cancerian energy doesn't have to be. The reason I went oh my is that you're kind of sidestepping it. You're like, I don't want to deal with this. Oh. You're kind of like your spiritual energy, as the Fool says, somewhere else, anywhere else, just not this. You're like, you're telling me distinctly you don't want to deal with it. With the Chariot, that is a very strong energy that says, through my heart, I could move forward. I don't want to. And there's something about it where you feel so disinclined, so disenchanted, I believe, or you feel so disenchanted from whatever this cup of love represents to you, that you're like, I could move forward, clear things up, kind of speak my piece emotionally with this person, but they're not, so I'm not gonna. And I see you literally sidestepping that. You could move forward. You have a strong heart, like you typically do, but it's like, my heart cannot be bothered with this, because it's almost like you're saying to me what I say all the time to the people: no change plus no change equals no change. And it's kind of like, they're not giving me anything good to work with. I feel emotionally neglected, so why would I try to continue to move forward in this? What's the freaking point? So I don't know what emotional dynamic this is with another person that I'm describing, but you're like, I don't want to. I could move forward. I don't want to. Seven of Swords, you're sidestepping that shit. So Seven of Swords is no really pretty way to address it, much like the Five of Swords. We all do it. We all have a Five of Swords sometimes. We all have a Seven of Swords sometimes. And if you say you don't, I'm going to call you a liar. This is normal to human nature. It's what we tell ourselves sometimes, or we don't want to tell ourselves. And right now you're like, I don't know. I could move forward in this through love, but it's kind of like, I also feel like I'm not going to get back what I need again from this person, or from this dynamic, or from this connection. So what's the fucking point? We're going to sidestep that. Seven of Swords. It's avoidance. I don't want to. I don't. I just don't. And then you're showing me the Fool. This is what I would like to do. I want to open up elsewhere. Now, I don't know what that elsewhere is to you, but the Fool is that lovely, beautiful spiritual energy that you cannot fake. It just says, I want to be open. I don't want to keep coming back to this. I don't want to try to fix it. I'm just going to leave that be. So I'm not saying healing elements in here. I'm not saying effective communication in here. It's kind of like, this is too hard, or I just don't have the inclination right now to address this or fix it. I don't think they do either. There we go. Let's blast some good energy elsewhere outside of this. So in August, you are going to feel, or at least that's what I'm looking at, when this actually happens over the next several months, I don't know, okay? It can have broader strokes, yes. Not necessarily strictly August or September, that kind of thing, but you get the idea. There's this kind of like, there's tension between us. It doesn't resolve. It just makes me feel bad. I feel like you blocked my attempts to express love to you, and you block attempts at giving your love back to me. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And there's that feeling. There's no pressure here. There's that sense of no pressure. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So, no. I'm going to go do something else. That's kind of where it's at. All right? Now, whether or not it comes back up as in terms of resolution or moving forward or resolving that, I don't know. Who that particular dynamic is, it's whoever I just described. For some of you, it could literally be Cancer. This is all you right there. A little bit of Capricorn. Okay, let's keep rolling for September, please. Show me. Show me September, show me September, show me September, please. Show me September, please. For Taurus. Show me September, please, for Taurus. Show me September, please, for Taurus. Page of Cups. King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. There's a weirdness here about you wanting to be more like yourself. You wanting to feel more secure. You're wanting to feel just like your King of Pentacles self, right? There is something here where you do want to open up your heart space, but then you're like, Eight of Swords, confusion. I don't know about that. And that's just us talking ourselves out of things, Eight of Swords. It's very easy to do. It's just another version of procrastination. Now's not the time. Or I don't even know where I'd begin to address that. Do I really want to open myself up? Maybe not. And that's the Eight of Swords. It's self-imposed. We do it to ourselves. It's a way of talking ourselves out of our things, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what it is we actually want to do. It's a way of shutting things down without us actually addressing we're shutting things down. It's like if I find some kind of loose, kind of superficial reason to not address this, then I'm going to roll with that. And we don't really question it. We don't have to. We just put something in place that kind of guaranteed we're not going to deal with it. There's your heart's open. It wants to open up, and you're kind of like, you're going, no, it doesn't. No. Why would I do that? No, that's silly. Kind of like that. And yet it would make you feel very good to do so. I don't know in what direction. Can I get a little bit more on September, please? It's almost like you're trying to decide if something's worth opening up towards, and you keep trying to give yourself time, distance, and space, and all you're really doing is ignoring it. There's something here about there's a cycle that should probably end, or a cycle that should probably open, and you're regardless of the direction you're delaying. You don't want to look at it. Kind of like this, that kind of low-level sense of disappointment and some sort of love union that doesn't seem to get any better. You kind of know where it stands, and because you know it's not fixing itself, and because you know the work's not being put into it, because you know the feelings are not being shared the same way, it's kind of easier to just ignore it, right? We don't want to deal with that. And all I'm seeing is that decision play out in a certain way over here as well. And we're just killing time here. We're overthinking a cycle either closing out, or we're overthinking a cycle that should be opened up. It's looking like a closeout to me. It's something that you need to open your heart in order to really address it, but you're not allowing your heart to open up towards address it. You don't want to see it again. It's really, we're killing time here with that Three of Wands and the Hermit. It's an overdue concept that feels far away to you, and you feel personally detached from it. You're like, all you're telling me is that you don't want to make that decision, but it's with you. It's somewhere back there in your energetic back burner. It's like, now's not the time to address that. You're still doing it. So whatever that is, it's August, it's still there in September. It's a delay tactic, and it's a very elaborate one. Between the Hermit, the Three of Wands, the Eight of Swords, You not allowing your heart to be open towards the subject or the discussion says now's not the time. Well, according to this Taurus, the time will never be. At some point, whatever this is that you avoid, okay, and some sort of emotional relationship you have with somebody that you have already told me does not fix, it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't make me happy, fuck it, the fool, I want to open up to other things in my life to kind of distract myself from this. It's all delay, honey. It's just one elaborate delay tactic that's spreading out, and I think it's going to continue to spread out. It's whatever that is to you. But you're kind of doing this thing where it's like, I don't need to open my heart to that particular topic, Christina. It's not up for debate. I just need more time, and I'll be fine. That whole I need more time and this will be fine is magical thinking. That's part of the Three of Wands, and one of the reasons why I dislike it so much. It's false hope or magical thinking. Three of Wands positive means I understand I put so much into my relationship, or I put so much into my work, or I put so much into my life. Therefore, I have reasonable hope and reasonable expectation that something will come back to me the way it's supposed to. This is what you call false hope. I'm looking out on the horizon and I'm just generally, vaguely hoping shit will work out. And I have no reason to believe that. You already told that to me here. You have no reason to believe that this is going to get better. Whoever this is that perpetually disappoints you on the emotional level has shown no indication of healing with you, no indication of communicating effectively with you to alleviate the emotional distress and disappointment. Again, when you're caught up in it, you don't really experience it that way. You experience it in terms of excuses and this is what's going on and yeah, it's like this again. That's life. You know, that's how it's coming across. But at the deeper issue here, the fact that you're sidestepping, moving forward in this in a way that's positive, tells me you're disinclined to. In other words, you don't have the energy to move forward positively, emotionally in this anymore. But you don't see that, and you don't want to see that. So actions, honey, speak a lot about what's going on with this. If there was something here, I don't know who this represents to you emotionally. I have no clue. But the fact that it's showing no improvement and you're not interested in discussing it because you already kind of know it's going to go nowhere in that emotional jerk circle, and the fact that you're spiritually feel inclined to get outside of this, tells me you're looking for an escape route, but you're not taking it seriously. You don't seem to understand that delaying this is going to make this any easier. That's that false thinking. And I'm not trying to pick on you, honey. It's a very elaborate process, all of it amounting to one thing. I have some sort of emotional connection with somebody that's going nowhere. I'm miserable. They don't support me. I don't really support them, and I don't really feel like being... It's just not there. It's a complete lack of feeling and the frustration of it, but also not willing to recognize it for two people. It's just one elaborate delay tactic. You know, we're overthinking it. And just magically hoping things will heal so we don't have to end this is not going to help anybody. And you saying, I don't want to think about these things, again, isn't helping. It's just, again, no change plus no change equals no change. Same plus same equals same. So again, I don't want you to be that definition of crazy, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You just hanging in there by a thread in something that you have with somebody, and they're not communicating well with you, they're not loving you well, you're not loving them well, and you're not communicating with them well. I'm not saying you don't have good intentions. I'm not saying that they don't have good intentions. But I'm saying the fact that you deliberately sidestep, I don't want to think about the future and where this is going. I don't want to do that. That's also inconvenient. That says a lot. So, this is ongoing. Spiritually speaking, you are restless to move yourself open into more positive things. And I don't quite know what you're hoping for, other than the fact that it'll just get easier in time and that you won't actually have to pull the cycle on this. Okay? Something to think about. I'm sorry. Other than that, I think I've described very well your work functions. That was very prominent, very early, very Taurus. And I am sorry if you are experiencing this, but I want you to think about that, honey. You know, I think you're at that space with whatever this is. I don't know who this is to you. Family, friend, significant other. I couldn't say. You haven't shown me that. The only thing that you have shown me is that you inherently feel nothing's going to change. And you're kind of tired of trying to make the effort to move it into a positive direction. It's kind of like there's no point. So as soon as somebody tells me that there's no point, but there's also no change, that means we're stuck. And as the Fool, you are wanting to open up elsewhere, but you're not allowing that either. Not that I see. Perhaps in small ways, but really, I think you're in that space again where I've seen you before. You're not waiting on them, you're waiting on you, okay, to figure out what to do with this. And to do that, you're really going to have to acknowledge your feelings on it, okay? All right, carrying on. Show me the sun, please. Show me the sun, please, for Taurus. What do we understand makes us happy? Are we achieving it? Are we going for it? What's going on? Show me that sun, please. Show me that sun. Show me that sun. Show me that sun, please. Show me that sun. Show me Taurus' sun, please. Oh. Okay. Well, that was kind of, okay. Well, for some of you, it's a lover. To not put too fine a point on it. Some of you, it's a lover that would make you very, very happy. Summer loving. Oh, God, no. I did not just hear Greece. Did I just hear Greece? Oh. I just heard Greece. What was that? John Travolta? Ah! Summer loving. The lover's on the sun. Sure, why not? Summer loving. Okay, show me the sun, though, for real. Oh, yeah. And some of you are like, Greece is my jam, Christina. Don't knock Greece, okay? I fucking love Greece. I understand. I got it. It was a classic. I got it. All right, show me the sun. No, it's not bad. I'm being cheeky. It's actually pretty good. All right. Oh. It's just like, oh goodness, there's a part of you that wants to wake up very badly. It's just you don't know it because you won't acknowledge it. Honey, we got avoidance issues in here. You showed me the moon over the sun. Now those two typically are a beautiful combination, and they can be, so that means the potential exists within you. It's one of the most beautiful unlined energies in tarot is to have the sun and the moon in juxtaposition like that. It suggests the ultimate form of yin and yang and balancing our darks and our lights, true integration of self, harmony of the self. There is a part of you that hasn't harmonized. You would like it to. It's growing in you. Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, a little bit of opening up towards it. And I saw that with the Fool. He's not allowed his full escapee, not yet. But there's a part of you that would like to harmonize with what it is that truly makes you happy. And unfortunately, the moon is under there. In other words, you haven't really allowed yourself. And the thing with that Taurus energy, honey, it is so unique to just you, is that element of permission. All zodiacs, signs. We have some overlapping traits with other folks. We do. And then we have core distinct features that isn't replicated anywhere else. Your core feature that is unique to just Taurus is permission. You have to give yourself permission to go outside the box, to go outside everything that you know or that you believe is true. And you have a truth in you that you haven't really allowed yourself to discover in terms of essentially what makes you happy. And I mean real happiness. The kind that leaves a permanent stupid grin on your stupid face. I'm not saying you're stupid, you know what I mean. I'm exaggerating. Does the beauty within you to balance and harmonize in that exquisite celestial body that is the moon and the sun? Oh yes. Do you know that? No. Would you like to? Yes. It's a growing feeling in you to allow yourself to explore those parts of you that are already in play, that do exist, but you don't give them enough breathing room. Not at all. What's in your moon? Did you understand that parts of you that make you very, very happy are the parts that you bury the most under the moon? And that, once known, can be part of your sun. There are things that go off script for you that perhaps are different from the normative you allowed in your life or what you perceive is supposed to be in your life that don't match up. And so you kind of put it into the moon, but it's actually who you are. And sometimes how we present ourselves to other people doesn't allow us our moon energy. Sometimes how we think our life is supposed to go, be authored or scripted, doesn't allow, or we won't allow our moon energy out because we think it doesn't match it on paper. There is a part of, naturally the Taurus I'm looking at, there is a part of you that is real and authentic, that you bury under the moon because you think it doesn't look like the rest of you. Okay? That part of you is a little different than how you've presented to the world. This is how I presented. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. There's room for that, Taurus. There is room for that. Your resume presentation. But as we all know, resumes can be forged. There are parts of you I know you hold up to the world and say, this is me. And you have not allowed much room on that resume for the parts of you that you think shouldn't be there. They're actually a part of you. So I don't know what that moon is to you, but it's a secret. And for some reason you don't allow it to come through. But it would in fact make you happy if you allowed yourself to have more integration of yourself. I wonder what that is. I'm sorry for that overly elaborate. It's just I very rarely get to see the sun and the moon combination. So when I do see it, I try to take a little more time with it because it indicates automatically true integration of self, and that's a delicate thing. If it was so easily done, it would be easily explained, but it's not. I just know that Seven of Pentacles, it's as much a part of you as anything else in your world, but you don't allow it to come through. It's like, you see, Christina, this part of me that I don't know would make me happy. I don't know it doesn't make me happy because I've never given it room to thrive, because the way I present myself, it doesn't make sense compared to everything else I've got going on. It doesn't make sense because you've never allowed yourself to integrate it, so no one's ever had a chance to see it, not even you. So there's something deep within your moon that would actually make you very happy if you allowed it to breathe, to give it room, to give it space, to shape you, to influence you. I don't know what that is. I'm terribly curious, and I'm sorry it's so vague, but it's also very personal. I don't know that I can get any more off of that. Can I get any more off of that, please? Show me that moon. That's the Fool. He doesn't get to come out very often, does he? It's under your sun. We've had this talk before about yourself versus your authentic self. You struggle with that. That's the Taurus I'm looking at. No offense meant, nor should it be taken. I'm reading tarot. And if you're not into real tarot, you shouldn't be watching this. The Taurus I'm looking at, you've been struggling between what you present and your authentic self. There's a part of you that you do not allow to breathe, but it is indeed who you are, but you give it no room. So how would you know it's a part of your life? You won't allow it to come through. Honey, you got a lot going on. And why it's so problematic for you, why you find yourself in so much conflict in your own energy, is that you don't know that you've got a lot going on for you. You won't allow it to come through. In order to know how strong this energy and important it is into your life, you'd have to acknowledge it first. You want to, very much so. But you're going to have to do more than be a Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is going to have a hard time holding up against the moon. But it's so deeply built and integrated into who you are, your very soul, your DNA, if you will, of who you are, and you give it next to no room to breathe. Like a fine wine, when you open it, you want it to breathe a little bit. You have exquisite fine wine that's aged very well, but you haven't uncorked it. It's like you let it sit there and you admire it, but it's also like you dismiss it. It's like, that's somebody else's fine wine, but it's not mine. No, honey, it is yours. You have some beautiful energy in you, and you don't know that you do. Perhaps you think it's fantasy. Perhaps you think it's bullshit. You know, it's like the 3D, the cold hard cash, Christina. That's what I know. I understand. That's part of your authentic resume. But the fact that you approach it, that this is all that matters, it's not true. And I bet you dimes to fucking donuts, honey, that would explain this dynamic. Because if you were living, your most integrated, authentic self, forgive me for the bluntness, but this wouldn't be here. This is so very true for your energy. I will see some of the most basic, simple Taurian stuff, complicated, huge heart, hard to show it, very you, very classic, hard worker, take on more than your fair share. Complications, this is what I feel, this is what I allow myself to do, the permission thing. I see that for you all the time. And then, every now and again, I tap into that Taurus who has such raw, magnificent, beautiful energy, potential, and you have no clue. This is that Taurus today. You are so much more than just avoiding love that doesn't want you. I'm sorry. That's what I read today. I just didn't use that blunt of a language. I did now. And you are so much more than the resources you can gather. Not to dismiss that. You've done a fantastic job. You know this. That's why you're so fucking intense about it, honey. Not because it doesn't mean anything to you, but because it means a lot to you. It's Taurian MO right there. Beautiful. And there's that side of you. It's like that can't possibly be true because I didn't make any room for it on my resume. You got to author that resume. You got to choose what goes on it. And if you didn't believe in that side of you that deserves so much more, of course you never made room for it on your fucking resume. You have so much beautiful energy in you. More than that. Potential. Spiritual connectivity. Love. Big love. And you pay it no mind. You say it's for others, not for you. I do hope in time the universe boldly and proudly proves you wrong. I don't know what it's going to take for you. Taurus, I'm looking at you, have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. Why would you? You haven't made any room for it. But I do know this. Even if it makes no sense, my words, I know you feel it. You feel the truth of it. The only reason you can't visualize it is because you haven't experienced it. That being said, allow me to explain what I just saw. I said, what is your moon that is under your sun? That would make you happy, but you don't know would make you happy because you've never made room for it. There's a reason why they gave us a little preview earlier. That's exquisite. Look at the beauty of you. Do you really think this is worthy of you? Do you really think this is what functioning love looks like? Do you really think this is as good as it gets? You think that's for dreamers, for other people, not for you? No, no, no. I'll mind you, this is under your moon. That's one of the best moons I've ever fucking seen in my life. But it doesn't do us any good when we pay it no mind. This is part of who you are. It's not a fantasy. It's not a pipe dream. It's you. It's one of the most admirable, powerful yin and yang concepts I've ever seen. When I'm telling you the combination of the sun and moon is rare, it is. It's one of those divine opportunities we have to understand integration. You have a divine opportunity to understand your integration. Knowing what makes you deliriously fucking happy means you have to be prepared to go to certain places. We're going to have to do a damn... It's always been with you. That's real. That's real energy. That's pinnacle. You can't fake that. You know that. Those are established roots. In other words, this feeling that's been inside you has been with you all your life. And you say it's not for me. It's not real. Oh, yes, it fucking is. How do you get there? Acknowledge that you want this. I don't know what that looks like to you. I saw your Fool trying to pop out earlier. The more it tries to avoid whatever that Two of Cups dynamic is that is so dissatisfying, the more you feel spiritually inclined to open up and into other areas. This is the other area. Your true self. The one that you never gave room for on your resume of life. You. You never gave yourself room for this. In your heart of hearts, you would like to be the person that is so free and so bold to go after their sunshine, their happiness, their lover. And you feel it most when you have the least love. Does that tell me that you are living authentically and loving authentically, or you're not? Authentic love means we don't dodge it like a bullet. We either know it's for us or it's not, and I told you this is an overly elaborate delayed tactic from you having to look at something. You know it doesn't fit you spiritually, but also it's been with you so long it's almost a forced habit. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to. You confronting this and stop delaying it and procrastinating means you get more in touch with this. By understanding what's not right for us or what isn't good for us allows us to understand what is indeed good for us, and you fight it, which means you fight yourself. And this is proof of how you've kind of left this piece off your resume. Oh, God. I hope your moon wins. But that comes down entirely to the attention you give it. Something that's so much bigger. Part of something is like, oh, that's for other people. That's not for me, Christina. Oh. I respectfully disagree with you. Know your worth, Taurus, honey. Is this your worth, yes or no? It is that simple. I'm sorry, but it is. It is that simple. You will always be your best investment. God damn, look at that. Maybe one day. Oh, do I dare look at your tower? That was just your sun. Do I dare look at your tower? Oh, God. I could do another hour with that. Easily. With that segment. Just that segment alone, honey. Jeez, wait. That's a powerful moon you're packing. No, can't. It's not intimate tarot. Never mind. I was about to do a joke. I can't help it. I can't. It happens. It's a natural talent. But I make room for my natural talent. But no, can't. As I say, that's quite the moon you're packing, Taurus. But and that is a hell of a moon you're packing. It's just you don't even know it's in you. Oh, you fight it. You say it's for the people. It's not for you. Oh, honey. No. It's in you. You just don't know it. How do you get in touch with it? Stop denying this situation. Stop denying what's going on here. Get in touch with your emotions about this, your thoughts about this. And when you stop denying and putting things off, it'll put you in touch with that space more. It won't be an overnight thing, especially if you're not comfortable with it, especially if you're very comfortable to devaluing things like the Sun and the Fool and the Lovers. Yeah, it's a fine wine, Christina, and that's other people's dreams, but it's not mine. No, honey, there's something deep in you, and that means it's for you. But you have to know it's for you. But first, you got to get in tune with this situation. Stop putting it off. The Tower, Page of Cups, Death, Ten of Swords. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a look at Judgment real quick and I'll get back to that. Show me Judgment, please. Show me Judgment. Emphasis on the Hermit. September might be very interesting for some of you this year. Show me Judgment. Show me Judgment. Show me Judgment. Show me Judgment, please. Knights of Wands. For some of you, you feel passionless. Show me Judgment. 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 Two of Swords. You have to get very clear about what you want. It's your judgment call. It's also your lesson. You are here undisputedly as the Hierophant. That's you. Dead center. Boom. Everything you stand up for, everything that you believe in, everything that you stand by, your particular code, your balance in this life, your higher sense of self and calling. You. Total empowerment. Stop acting confused about what you want. You know, Judgment. This is your decision. It's your lesson. If you really want that emotional harmony, if you really want that love, all-encompassing, all-surrounding emotional equilibrium within you and outside of you, it's both here. We have to stop being confused and start making decisions. It is your call, and it's also your lesson. And I'm seeing a 10 of another kind under Tower. That is which is unexpected or what we need to learn, even if it's the hard way. Towers are as scary as we allow them to be. The more we fear change, the more likely we are to fear towers. And the more we fear the unexpected, the more likely we are to not change. Again, so if you're indeed that Taurus who is terrified of change, you're going to view towers and endings as a horrible, horrible, disastrous thing. Right? And part of the delay process. There is something here that is overdue in terms of cycling out, and it's directly related to matters of the heart. Now, getting back to your Tower, I've discussed your Sun. Getting back to your Tower, I do not know when. It will be unexpected. You're either going to learn something the hard way, and it's going to be hard. Ten of Swords, Death, Page of Cups. First translation, it's the primary translation. Your heart space for something that suggests a little bit of openness. Just a little bit. A little bit of open-heartedness is now dead for something or someone. And you don't know it yet. Tower. And that might be what all this wiffle waffle is. I'm disappointed with this. I'm grievously disappointed with it. It's the same shit day in, day out. I feel emotionally unsupported and I don't feel the love, and I also don't feel like giving it. I could move this forward, but they don't want to. Fuck it, it's going to end up the same way, so I'm just going to leave that hot mess alone. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to acknowledge it. Let's just kill time, please. And I don't want to be responsible for that decision anyway. Delay tactics. I saw that same little Page of Cups, and that's why it is the default interpretation that whatever this is that even requires just a little bit of feeling on your part isn't there, and you don't want to see it anymore. Eight of Swords directly ties back to you, King of Pentacles. That is you saying, I do not want to see what I no longer have feelings for. I don't want to see it, because then I'd have to do something about it, right? No. There's a cycle here, but no. I got to kill for time. I got to kill for time, and hopefully things might work out. This is delay. Bad timing. The more we delay it, the worse the feeling's going to get. For some reason, this is peaking hard August, September. Or let's just call it late summer. That same Page of Cups, no matter how small, some of you are going to have to learn this the hard way. That the feeling is dead, and once that comes crashing in, it's the Towers, the truth. And it's this is non-revival. If it was just death, I could tell you there's a possibility of transformation. The Ten of Swords, it says, no, that's the nail in the coffin. And that's fine. I don't want you to force yourself to feel what you don't, because then you'd be lying to yourself. It's more important that you acknowledge the truth of it as opposed to denying it, because you've seen where that's got you. Okay? That's the hard truth. And in so doing, you understand your decision is bigger than you, and the love you believe in, and the love that you believe in for yourself. That's your call. And like I told you, what did I tell you? The more you get in touch with this, the more you open up that moon energy, because it puts you in closer approximation to what it is you truly desire and makes you happy, and what it is you actually deserve. Second interpretation. And I hope it's not true. And I don't want to upset you. I don't want to upset anyone, but I'm obligated to report things, because I'm not that asshole. Don't get me wrong, I can be a bitch, but I'm not that asshole. For some of you, there may be some unexpected endings. Not you. Something else outside of you. If you experience loss over the summer, I'm sorry. I am sorry. It looks like it was meant to be. Or it was inevitable, I should say. Even if it comes in as a surprise. Even if you know someone's moments away, that doesn't make it any less surprising. Human beings are like that. We're contradictions. You could know something to be true, and it's not till it actually happens that we feel the shock of it and the pain of it. I am insisting that for the majority of you, it's the primary interpretation to the situation. It was already marked with a proposed cycle that you did not want to see and is dragging out. I insist that those two are related. Okay? I saw the problems back here. When we start walking away from moving forward, when we start walking away from concepts of solutions and improving this, typically things go on a one-way street from that point. And it takes two. If I saw somebody trying to work through this or give real healing or real solutions or real emotions to their more authentic self, I'd say, yeah, there's a chance. But that's not what I saw. For others of you, there might be an unexpected ending, which triggers, nevertheless, this question of long-term, Taurus. What are you going to do long-term? How do you want to feel long-term? How do you want to live long-term? They are still linked, because it still puts the question literally back on you. What do you want? So even if there is an unexpected ending over the summer sometime, let's just call it the rest of the year, it still puts you in that frame of mind. No more hiding, no more not looking at this, Taurus. What do you want to see for the rest of your life? And it still touches you in that way. Have I seen grievous things? Yes. But it's the ultimate balance in life. You cannot have one without the other. Where there can be much difficulty, sadness, pain, and loss, so too can there be much joy, love, creativity, life, and fulfillment. One is going to balance the other out if you allow it. But the stuckness, that's the one thing that will not do. Transformation requires sacrifice and change. Stuckness gets us nowhere. There is an authentic part of you that you think doesn't exist, or you don't give it much room to exist. That's the part that's going to require change for it to come out. And even if it's painful, I'd rather you experience it than to stay stuck. If it loved you back, if it made you feel comforted, secure, cared for, the interpretations would be very different. In the meantime, I see a gross preoccupation. Many of you will use work, of course, to not have to think about these things, and I hope that you fight against that instinct. Okay. Taurus, honey. Like always, the parts of you that you give the most attention to will work themselves out like they always do. The parts of you that you give the least attention to are the best parts of you. You just don't know they're your best parts. Let's get some advice, please. I don't know who that is to you, honey. I just know that it's a calling. There's that fucking Two of Swords again. It's a calling so strong that in equal proportion to it, it's going to provoke some of your worst fears, and that's typically how these things work when we're not integrated, like I see with the moon and the sun with you. When we're not integrated, extreme joy, extreme happiness, extreme pleasure is going to make us equally fear change in endings, the black and the white, the yin and the yang. And it's like, because one requires so much sense of fear and change, the Taurus I'm looking at, you prefer stuckness and growth in some areas that you know you can't control. And it's not about buying the ticket. How much is this going to cost me? Okay. It's not about buying the ticket. It's about taking that ride. Do you trust the ride? That's it. Two of Swords, the Knight of Wands, your advice. Ten of Swords tried to pop out again. For some of you, the energy for whatever this is dead. The Knight of Wands, for some of you, the natural energy that you have to move something forward because you want to, because it feels right. Because you actually legitimately have the energy for something. For some of you, it's dead, or you can't see it, or you haven't been able to see it for a long time. Your enthusiasm, your natural good fire, your natural good said, yeah, I'm up for this. You haven't been up for something for a very long time. Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups. Some of you, your heart spaces have been yearning for fulfillment elsewhere, particularly in regards to new. Because you've been emotionally distant from something else for a long time. Okay. There is something that we're having to work through, and it does take work. I absolutely agree. And for some of you, you're critically going to feel this around August. This need to work through, how come I feel so emotionally absent? How come I feel stuck and unmotivated? Why does my heart space go in another direction? And why does it feel so much stronger in another direction? Okay, that's your Fool trying to come out. Okay, anything else, please? The Nine of Pentacles, that longing for independence and freedom, okay, to choose for oneself. You are capable. King of Cups. Yeah, big heart space, freedom of self, the freedom to choose one's heart and heart space and what it is you're doing and why, and movement, actual movement, feeling of love and being loved. The feeling that this is going somewhere and that this means something and that it's safe and that it's secure and it fulfills me on every conceivable level, you know. All those lovely good feelings. There's someone here. There's someone here who represents that. And it feels good, it feels right, it feels natural. There's someone here. Yeah, there's someone here. And it's beautiful. It feels right on every conceivable level. Balanced, natural, organic, the way it should be. They represent a different path in love. Okay. Yeah, oh, really? Okay, this one. Not a huge fan of this one, but every now and again... What is this? This is the romance angels or something? What? Love yourself first. Yes, of course. If you knew how much love you had for yourself, honey, you would understand stuckness just doesn't do. If you knew how much you loved yourself, you would know that stuckness just will not do. Yeah, in this situation, that's what I was saying as well. Very soon is in reverse. It's not. This is going to take time for you to understand because we don't want to see it. Not yet. Okay. And okay. There is something here. Okay. Getting to know each other, unrequited love, wedding. I am seeing what looks like a marriage construct here, and it's unrequited. Somebody feels left like they're hanging. It's unfulfilled. It's one-sided. Okay, it's not returned. Yeah, I saw that frustration. And getting to know each other, the conversations, we can kind of see that now, or we can feel it. The more intimate time or quiet time we have with this person, the more we understand that it's not being returned the same. That's that Four Cups energy, getting to know each other. This is what I'm expressing to you. This is what you're expressing to me, and I'm unhappy. I feel emotionally unsupported, and I don't feel loved. And it's a perpetual block. 9 of Wands. Nobody expresses themselves in love anymore, it seems like. And that's going to lead to that unrequited feeling, even within a construct. A relationship construct. It doesn't have to be marriage. Could just be long-term partnership. Something where you know that you two are together. Okay. And I know you make the effort. I know. Or you did. And you're kind of in that space now where you just don't feel like you can conceivably make any more of an effort or any more of a show. And you feel like this is the Chariot and the Seven of Swords that I saw for you. So that's what this is. Make the effort is kind of like the Chariot, and retreat is the Seven of Swords. You could make the effort, but you no longer feel inclined because you know you're not going to get a return on it. Not anymore. But you're not able to really get into a space where you can fully accept it. Not yet. In time. Okay. Yeah. In due course. Separation, as I've said. When that tower arrives, I could not say. Do we have a focus somewhere else, please? They're really pointing, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the point, Spirit. I got it. I understand that. But yes, there could potentially be a honeymoon phase. Yes, of course. That's if you open up in the other direction. Passion tried to pop out. Heart-to-heart conversations where somebody actually talks to you and opens up your heart space and makes you feel listened to, cared for, proper, healthy yearning. Discovery of love, good, that kind of thing. Yeah, I know. The finances and career, that has to be important to you as well. I know, I see that as being the focus. I understand. Okay, but also somebody who is compatible in that energy of hardworking, dedicated goals, that kind of thing. Okay. Anything else here today, please? No. No. Earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. The answer is a no. Open your heart. Open your heart. Some of you will be traveling soon, and that's going to put you in a freer space. I don't know what the answer to no was, but the answer was no. The answer was no. Open your heart. It's looking like some of you will have a chance for a reprieve soon, something where you get to relax, get out of your environment, even if it's just for a little bit. There might be some travel involved, and that's when your heart space softens a little bit, and you can start to relax around these concepts, and you can start putting more thought and feeling into them. I want you to use that space, even if it's just you being in the car, honey. I don't care. I need you to make more space for yourself, okay, so you can reflect and not feel threatened, and you don't have to feel overwhelmed or burdened by somebody else's emotional needs or lack thereof, including your own, where you can just feel your own space, okay? Well, and there's something here about a love spell. There is something here about love being created, possibly brewed, a heavy sense of chemical exchange or interaction where it feels effective, dizzying, confusing. It's that kind of love energy that can be very, very potent, and there's something in there about that that's influencing your energy as well. And I've seen that for you when your heart space relaxes outside of this and it goes somewhere else, more into your moon energy, that deep, deep desire you have for the sun, the lovers, and the fool. That's that kind of love spell energy where it's so terribly potent, it's like a love cocktail. And there's something about that that's influencing you as well. And I want you to contemplate that energy when you're able to open up safely on your own time and in your own way without influence of somebody else, okay? Because it looks negative and it just keeps you in a state of stuckness. So over here, when you have that moment to be on your own or in your own space, I want you to really feel that. Spy. That's that Page of Swords energy. Someone's looking at someone else. You're looking into things as well, doing researches on here. Looking into things, contemplating, taking your time, looking into it, being inquisitive. Okay, again, allowing your mind to open up in that direction instead of just shutting it off or ignoring it. Okay, that seems to be where the concentration of energy is. No, let's do... Occupation. I know many of you use work as a way of kind of, well, first of all, resources gathering, as we saw. Okay, taking care of that community energy, and your occupation gives you very little room to contemplate what's right for you. I know, honey, it seems like a natural thing that when your emotional needs aren't being met or your whatever isn't being met, it's natural to put all yourself into a functioning space, occupation, work, hobby, whatever. I know it feels safe, I know, and it also lends to who you are as Taurus, being resourceful, dedicated, gathering your resources. I understand that. But it also, I don't know how much room it gives you to understand the fairness of things with adjudication here. Okay, what's right, what's wrong, weighing it up, pros and cons and things like that. God, so many of you get so immersed in your work. It's just another form of distraction, honey. I'm not saying your financial world isn't important to you. I'm saying I just know you. So long as you can keep yourself occupied, you know, you have a way to avoid that big heart of yours. So. Thoughts, contemplation. Don't quite know, but you're contemplating someone in your mind's eye. The artist who contemplates his subject. There's thoughts, there's memories, there's color in it. Someone's face. Someone preoccupies your mind. There's that concept of July might be important. I saw that for Virgo as well. I don't know about sudden wealth. Yeah, there could be some unexpected income or something plays out in your favor. I don't quite know. That could always be the case. I'm seeing it as something different because Pathway came out at the same time. There is a wealth for you, wealth, abundance, attached to other pathways in this life. Not just one. Okay? But that's up to you. All right, I think it's been pretty repetitive at this point. I was hoping to push to see you further, but you know what? That's Taurus. There's no point in pushing you, honey. You just push right back. There's just no point. You'll learn things when you need to learn things. And this, like I said, it was very soon, and I saw that as in reverse. Very soon was in reverse. That there's just some things you're not ready to confront. Eventually, though, the confrontation will be there. What you delay today will come around tomorrow. I just want you to be prepared for tomorrow, because it is going to happen. I'd rather you meet the tower where it is instead of acting like you never knew it was there. You knew it was there. Okay? You know? That's the difference between being a fully developed bull and a little baby bull, you know. Okay. All right, Taurus, honey. I know it seems, oh, Christina this, oh, Christina that. I know, but that's because, again, you're that Taurus who's not seeing that other side of you. If that other side of you is so magnificent and so beautiful, but to access it, it's going to require change. And if you get stuck on the change and that discourages you, remember what I said. Same plus same equals same. No change plus no change equals no change. You want the best. You feel the best. It is not just a pipe dream, honey, for other people that you are for some reason excluded from. It is you. You're the one who generated that activity. No one else. But you have to know it's just as equally yours as it could be anyone else's. And I don't think anyone else is packing that kind of energy, honey. So don't be that person that's like, but if I want to be the best kind of happy in the world, I have to make hard changes. Yeah. 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 It took you a while. Think about it, honey. As much work and dedication that it's taken you to get into a place of stuckness, don't you think it would take a reasonable amount of work and energy and effort to get you out of it? There's beauty in here. And it's you. That's not the universe, that's you. That's your energy. That's in you. But you have to know that's in you. Okay. Well, now, don't you have an intense summer? The financial workings and the 3D, oh yes. This, however, I see almost no movement in it, except maybe perhaps an increasing awareness that it's kind of like that. Most of your progress will be made upon the insight that you give this, and then as well as this tower, and then as well as you, your judgment call, your lesson, to know what you want. And get really fucking clear. Okay. Otherwise, the months go on as they go on. So much behind the scenes energy to your timeline. A lot of it. Anyway. Alright, honey. The next round of 3 months will be in 3 months. But, of course, like always, your actual message, your next message will be approximately 2 weeks from today. What the reading type will be, I do not know yet. I will have likely just gotten back from vacation, so I don't have it all down just yet. If you can believe it, you're watching this while I'm in California. I am actually recording all these prior to, so yay. I'm good. I'm summer ready, honey. I'm ready. Oh, let's go. Like I was telling, who was it? Aquarius? Somebody. I was telling one of the air signs, like, honey, I'm ready. I'm good. My body just hasn't gotten there yet, but I'm ready. Energetically speaking, I'm ready for some sin. Yes, but I'm just physically not there yet. Okay, I'll see you in a couple weeks, Taurus. Put in the comments as you see fit. Like always, I absolutely adore reading Taurus. No one frustrates me. And no one gives me this much magnificent as much as Taurus does. You are equally frustrating and brilliant simultaneously. And people think that crown goes to Scorpio. It's like, have you ever fucking worked with a Taurus? No, you haven't. Because if you had, you would be like, you. And then when people can see what you can do, and then you're like, that's why Taurus is worth it. You're stubborn pain in the ass, but this is why you're worth it, right? And that's why, honey, you have some of the most intense cross watchers I've ever seen in my damn life. They need seriously, somebody needs to make a fan club. Well, I don't know, it'd be a fan club, but it's some kind of club. And it's all cross watchers too. All right, honey. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.